First date locations tier list. Let's get into it.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Today's video, we're going to be talking about first date locations. As you can see here, we have plenty of locations. I'm basically just going to be ranking them from friends.
I'm going to be honest, before we get into the video, let's look at these locations real quick. The house, mid. Guessing another house, mid. Cheesecake Factory, I mean, it's alright. Like, some people will call you broke, though, if you go to Cheesecake Factory. Some people will call you broke. What is it called? Trampoline park? Trampoline park? I mean, you just gonna be sweaty and you gonna smell like ass. You gonna smell like ass afterwards. Karaoke, if you can't sing, not the move. Bowling, I mean, that's alright. Alright, top three though. Top three places that I'd take a girl on a date though. At my number one spot, mini golfing. Mini golfing is the move. It's a good icebreaker. You can talk to her, and if you win, you can just brag about it. Number two, a dinner spot, nice little restaurant that no one really knows about. But make sure it looks fancy though. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to look fancy. Y'all can talk and get to know each other. But number three, another activity. Getting coffee. Getting coffee and then going to the mall afterwards. I'm telling you, top tier play always works. It always works every single time. It works even better if there's a coffee shop at the mall. Like you go to Starbucks, go to the mall. I'm telling you, guaranteed 100% method.
Spot, meaning don't take your first date to this place ever. It's probably going to end in the friend zone, all the way up to insane spot, which means well played, brother. Now here's the thing about first date locations. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the black pillars are right in this case. Where you take her should not matter at all if she's attracted to you, right? You're gonna get the same results regardless of whether you take her if she's very high interest. However, with that being said, we have to plan first dates to account for potential flakes, to make sure that it's low investment. You know, you don't want to be pouring your heart and soul out into a first date with somebody that you don't even know. So it's just like a good precautionary measure to make sure that your first date goes well, you guys get to know each other and whatever, but at the same time, you're not overly investing and you're not doing anything crazy or over the top.
That's like facts though. If she likes you, it really does not matter where you go. You just can't mess it up, you know what I'm saying?
To where, you know, if she ends up ghosting you or flaking, you just had like an insane memory with somebody that you're never going to see again. So I'm going to be ranking these places based on how big the investment is for a first date. Remember, this isn't a second or a third date. This isn't a place to take your girlfriend. This is somewhere you're going to meet with a stranger, right? So we have to take that into account. As always, if you like my content and you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and let's get into the tier list. So the first thing we have here is your house. I'm not going to lie, this is an insane spot, right? Who doesn't want to go to their house on a first date? Because we all know what that's going to lead to. We all know the implications of her going to your house on a first date, and her being willing to go to your house without knowing you at all. It's a pretty big deal. It means that she's very, very interested and you don't have to do anything. You don't really have to invest. However, with that being said, just remember,
I'm gonna be honest, the best move you can do at your house is cook for her. I'm telling you, bro, if you cook for her, turn on the movie, I'm telling you, you in there.
the fact that, because a lot of guys have big ass egos, right? They think that if she went to his house, that means that, oh, she was willing to come to my house, that means she really likes me specifically. No, dude, she's willing to go to any guy's house who she likes. And you're probably not the first guy who's been able to get her to come over on a first date. I hope you know this, because the women with a lot of self-respect and a lot of religious values and stuff, they're just not going to, you know, want to come to your house on a first date. Think about it from their perspective, right? It's too risky, it's too dangerous, you're a stranger, it's a little bit weird. But I'm talking about like the extremely high interest girls. They're all willing to go to your house on a first date. So yeah, if she's willing to come over that quickly, something's going to happen that day. You guys are probably going to hook up. There's not many things you could do at the house, right? It's probably just going to be you guys Netflix and chilling. Let's be real. And the thing you have to realize about these girls specifically is they're only there to hook up, right? You're not going to get a relationship out of the girls who are willing to come to your house on the first date, because girls who want a relationship with you, typically what they will do is they'll actually make you wait. They're not just going to give you the pussy on the first fucking time of you meeting them. But if your goal is exclusively to hook up or whatever, me personally, I don't do that shit. But if that's your goal, then I'm going to have to put it at an insane spot. If it's not your goal, then it's probably lower. Next up, we have her house.
I'm gonna be honest, if I had to rank it, I'd rank it at an okay spot, because there's nothing to really do at your house. I'm just saying, there's nothing to really do at your house.
This is also an insane spot for the exact same reason. If she's willing to invite you over to her house on a first date, you're gonna smash 100%. But again, make sure you keep in mind the disclaimers that I talked about before. Alright, next up we have museums. This one's a little boring, not my personal cup of tea. If you enjoy museums and stuff, look.
Museum date, I mean, here's the play for the museum date, alright? The play for the museum date is, you get with her, you match outfit, you take pictures of the museum. I'm telling you, it works 10 out of 10. That's the play right there.
Not hating, right? This is a personal preference. A lot of these are going to be opinion based, right? So if you like going to locations that I don't, just take her to these locations, bro. The best first date place is where you want to go, right? Take her to the places that you enjoy going to. Me personally, however, I think museums are cool to go to with family and stuff, but on a first date, you know, you guys are looking at a bunch of stuff. Unless you're like a historical or archaeological expert and you want to show off how much you know about stuff, sure, take her to a museum, right? You're displaying competence, it's good. Other than that, you guys are kind of standing around. You could obviously make conversation and stuff. I'm gonna say it's an okay spot, you know. I'm not gonna put it at bad or anything, but not my personal cup of tea. Next up, we have coffee dates. I love this. Going at an insane spot. Coffee dates are very low investment. You guys can actually talk to each other. Nobody's really doing anything over the top or anything crazy. You guys are just gonna meet each other and grab some coffee from Starbucks or whatever. This is a great way to filter out the girls who have a problem with like low
Method is undefeated, bro. I'm telling you guys, coffee date mall, 10 out of 10 play works every single time.
dates, because TikTok has created this like entitlement culture among women where they're expecting like over the top $500 spent on a date, which is like ridiculous for the first time. So if she accepts to like going somewhere to seeing coffee with you, it's a sign of very, very high interest. And the date itself can be pretty enjoyable, you know, it's calm, it's chill, the vibe is really casual, so like you can talk to her freely. It's just an overall nice spot. I'm gonna put it at insane spot. Okay, now we have Cheesecake Factory, and the reason I included Cheesecake Factory specifically on this list is because, again, there's like this weird TikTok thing about how if you take a girl to Cheesecake Factory on the first date, you're cheap and you're broke and you don't deserve to go on a date with anybody. So if you're a very smart guy and you have suspicions that your girl is spending a little bit too much time on TikTok, take her to Cheesecake Factory, right? If she fucking blows up and explodes, congratulations, you just performed.
I'm gonna be honest, I said the same thing earlier with them, right? Cheesecake Factory, it's either a hit or miss. It depends on the girl you go to, all right? You can go to Cheesecake Factory, spend $60 on a meal for you and her, and she'll still call you broke. Or she'll think you have money, because some people don't know the difference. Like, or some people are just grateful, and I know the distance. Some people are grateful.
A controlled detonation. So just for that reason alone, because there's this weird reputation among Cheesecake Factory and how apparently it's too cheap, even though the food there is pretty good and it's not even that cheap. You're not taking her to fucking McDonald's, right? So I'll put it at great spot. Next, we have trampoline park. You see, the only problem I have with this is, you know, if you're jumping around on trampolines, flailing your arms around, she could probably get icked out by that. If you guys saw my last video, jumping on a trampoline was one of the icks, right? So if you want to play it safe, maybe not. But if you're like this cool trampoline guy and you can do backflips and like a bunch of these cool fucking maneuvers and shit. But I mean, a trampoline park on a first date is a little bit too much. You guys aren't going to be talking. It's too much of an activity based thing to do where you're not really talking, you're not really getting to know her. There's no opportunities for you to pass shit tests and stuff. So I'm gonna put this at bad location. Next up, we have karaoke. You know, if you really enjoy singing and you're actually good at singing, keyword good at singing, right? If you suck but you still enjoy it, do not take her to karaoke. Do I think it's the best for a first date? Probably not. It's a pretty intimate thing to go to karaoke with someone. So I guess if you have no other options, it can be an okay spot. But from the context of a first date, since there's many better things to do, I would probably put it at bad spot, not gonna lie. Especially because, don't quote me on this, but
if you cannot sing, do not go to a karaoke night. I'm telling you, it's the worst thing ever. She would get icked out immediately.
every time I've done karaoke, it's always been with like a group of people. So on a one-to-one date night, I don't think karaoke is the best idea. Next, we have escape rooms. Yeah, I don't know about this on a first date, bro. It's a little too hectic. If you're like a crazy hectic guy or whatever, fine. And the thing is, me personally, I actually like escape rooms, but I'm so bad at them, right? Like, I can't figure the shit out fast enough. So if you take her to an escape room and you're like me and you're just not competent at fucking escaping, then you guys are just gonna be there for so long. And I don't know, women like puzzles and shit though. So both of you are gonna be way too focused on escaping rather than connecting. So, you know, I'm gonna have to put this at friend zone spot. I don't know about this one. Maybe if it's like a third or fourth date, escape room could be fun. But, you know, on a very first date, you don't know this person. You're already getting trapped in a room with them. Who knows though, you might end up hooking up in the escape room, but remember there's cameras in there. Next we have bowling. I like this, but the thing about bowling is you kind of have to supplement it with something else, right? You can't just go bowling on a first date. It's more like, yo, let's go bowling and then we can get drinks at this place after. Because if you just...
I'm gonna be honest, I would say bowling falls under the same thing as an arcade. Because in most bowling spots, there's an arcade right next to it. So this is really a good play. This is really a good play if you lock in. You beat her in bowling, or you could lose, be nice like that, and then you go to an arcade. Now, I will say you were planning to spend hella money on this arcade because you know the tickets are hella expensive for no reason.
Bowling, it has the exact same problem as things like trampoline parks and escape rooms where it's too activity based. You're only doing the activity. But bowling is pretty fun, dude. It's a pretty chill activity. It's not too intense. You can still talk in the middle of it and stuff. So I'm actually going to put this at okay spot, but it would go even higher if you're just able to supplement it with other things. Next up, we have theme parks, amusement parks, etc. I actually like this. I really like this. And the reason I do is because even though, yes, it does get a bit hectic and, you know, there's not much room for conversation if you guys are like doing rides and stuff, there's a psychological phenomenon. I don't really remember what it's called. Somebody commented down below where essentially she's going to attribute the emotional high that she experiences on the roller coaster ride with you as a person. So in her mind, it's like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Oh my God, this is so intense. It must be the guy I'm with, even though it's actually the roller coaster ride. So use
makes
this dumb
sense.
female logic to your advantage. Make sure that you give her emotional experiences that she attributes to you. I think amusement parks are great. There's a lot of flexibility as well. You guys can get food and shit. But, you know, since it's a first date, I can't put it too high. It's somewhere you want to take her to once you get to know each other a little bit more. Because, like, with a stranger, the goal of a first date is just to kind of scan them out, talk, briefly get to know each other or whatever. So, you know, I'm going to put this at okay spot. Next up, we have very fancy and expensive restaurants. Never take a girl here on a
The first date, not the move, only because you're going to spend hella money. She's going to order everything off the menu, and 2 weeks later, she's going to ghost you. That's how it goes all the time.
Listen, dude, if you got a private pool and you say, hey, you want to come for a swim, and she says yes, 99% chance she's very, very high interest in you because you're both going to be in a body of water. She's going to be wearing her little, you know, whatever. You have a lot of options to maneuver here. I'm just saying, if your goal is to, you know, hit and quit, I'm not promoting that behavior. I'm saying to each their own. But if you want things to happen, take her for a swim, dude. I think it's a great first date. I would put it at a great spot. Next up, we have roller skating. Same thing as ice skating. Next, we have the mall. Mall is great because there's a lot of options. Like you could walk around, you could go shopping, you could do any of the other activities here. So mall actually is pretty good. It's a good starting point because if you don't know what you want to do after, you guys can just walk around, maybe go grab like some food and then leave. So I'm actually going to put this at great spot. Next up, we have the movie theater. I love movie theaters, especially horror movies.
Movie
You
theater?
get the girl scared. You get her to
The movie theater, worst spot ever. I'm telling y'all, do not go to a movie theater, bro. First of all, you're going to get there. The movie might suck. The movie sucks, that's going to put you in a bad mood. That's going to put her in a bad mood, right? And then you wasted your money on the tickets. Second of all, in the movie, you can't talk. You can't even talk when you go into the movie. So why would you want to even go there? So what type of first date is a first date that you can't even talk on?
like this fear. You can use movies to your advantage psychologically. You're watching a horror movie. She gets scared. She looks at you. She looks towards you for comfort and protection. I know it's kind of manipulative and it's kind of weird, but it actually works, right? You watch a horror movie with her and she's absolutely shitting herself. You're stoic, standing there watching the movie, fucking laughing. She feels safer. She feels comfortable. Movies are very casual as well. You're both not like directly staring at each other. You're both looking at the screen. So you could crack jokes, whisper in her ear, like basically just fucking talk to her throughout the movie. Overall, it's a pretty fun, low investment activity. So I'm gonna put this at, insane spot. And lastly, we have the park. Imagine just telling a girl, hey, meet me at the park. You have nothing. You have no money. The girls who really, really like you are always willing to meet you at the park.
The park is not even that bad. The park's not that bad of a move. I'm going to tell you why. There's a lot of different things you can do at the park. You can go on a walk the talk. One of my favorites, actually, picnic. Picnic never misses. That's all I got, though. I'll see you guys next video.